Why are
So let me take a side note. Since this interview, just today, as of today, Wednesday, early morning after midnight, Wednesday, June 5th, we found out on the 4th, on Tuesday, that NATO has a plan allegedly to get U.S. troops to the front line. Whoa. This is crazy. Right on topic with the World War III concerns. Alliance prepares for rapid deployment of American soldiers amid fear Moscow is plotting major war with Europe. See, you have to make up, allegedly make something up to justify what people are seeing. You can't move a bunch of troops without people noticing. NATO is drawing up plans to send American troops to the front lines of Europe in the event of an all-out conflict with Russia. It has been revealed. New land corridors are being carved out to quickly funnel soldiers through Central Europe without local bureaucratic impediments, allowing NATO forces to pounce in an instant should Putin's devastating war in Ukraine move further west. These plans are said to include contingencies in case of Russian bombardment, letting troops sweep the Balkans via corridors in Italy, Greece, and Turkey, or towards Russia's northern border via Scandinavia, officials told The Telegraph. The Turkey one is interesting because there's been, Turkey's in NATO, but they kind of don't feel like they're in NATO. Here's the map. Turkey has kind of been torn, in my opinion, here. And we're showing the map that's been going viral today of the positioning of the troops. Looks like just like World War II. That is something to look at. You know, I said I'm not voting Trump. I don't mess. I'm on a Zio-free diet. Forgive me, but who knows? It's possible I could change. I highly doubt it, but it's that type of stuff that would make me change.
I look at your policies, I see secure the borders, bring jobs
Right.
back. I look at the Democrats and many Republicans, and it's foreign war and foreign expansion.
That's right.
What is that?
I think it's just a failed mentality. It's crazy. You can solve problems over a telephone. Instead, they start dropping bombs. I see recently they're dropping bombs all over Yemen. You don't have to do that. You can talk in such a way where they respect you.
I love that. Trump was really good with foreign. His foreign policy was just excellent, just outstanding. I love it. He's like, you guys are dropping bombs. We can talk. We'll be fine. I can negotiate. I can tell you my bombs are bigger than yours. If I need to, peace through strength. Absolutely. Absolutely, I believe in peace through strength.
When they listen to you, Viktor Orban of Hungary, the leader, they call him a strong man. Who cares if he's a strong man or not a strong man? He's a very powerful guy. He said the problem the world has is that Donald Trump is no longer president. When he was president, China didn't play around, Russia didn't play around.
Yeah, they didn't know. They didn't want to mess around and find out.
Nobody played around.
If you think, though, I don't mean to be, I don't want to suppress any votes or anything like that. But if you saw what I just read about NATO positioning, getting ready, you would need a draft, I would think, too. If you think they're going to allow Donald Trump to win, one way or the other, I don't know what it's going to be. It will be whatever by any means necessary. Donald Trump will not win in 2024. It's not going to happen.
And we had no problems. Today, the whole world is on fire.
I heard that funny, there's a conversation from a phone call where you said that there was, they maybe thought there was a 5% chance you'd nuke them.
That's well.
And so it kept them in line. It's kind of scary to think about, but you take a look at the weakness we have now with Ukraine and the money that we are
Trump
wasting.
was like, it might have been 25, but they thought it was a 5% chance I'd nuke them. I was thinking more 50-50, but whatever works.
I'll bring it back to the economy. This young guy I was talking to about immigration. Actually, I'll put it this way. There's a viral video where a young man screaming that we're sending hundreds of billions to a country no one's ever heard of. Right. And young people are hurting in this country. Do you see any direct economic policy that is on your list for 2025?
Direct economic, but also direct in terms of warfare. We're spending hundreds of billions of dollars all around the world. But when you look at Ukraine, we're giving all of this money. Europe, which is much more affected by that war than us, is spending just a tiny fraction of what we're spending. And you say, does anybody at least get involved in this? But more importantly, I will end that war. I'll get it ended. Putin respects me. Zelensky respects me. I know all the players, and I want to get that war ended. It's a horrible war. It's a terrible, there's no good war, but that's a horrible war. And to think it would have never started. It would have never started. If the election turned out like it should have turned out, that war would have never started. I mean, and you know, the number of lives we're talking about is far greater than the numbers that you hear. When they blow up a town, or when they blow up these buildings, these massive buildings, surprisingly, I mean, these are big. That was my business. These are big, powerful buildings. And they come.
Is Trump getting briefed? I got to look that up. He should be getting briefing, I believe.
Tumbling down to the ground, and they say nobody was injured. A lot of people were killed.
Yeah.
And the numbers are a lot different than you think. What you will see that
If he is, we know they're lying to him, but I still want to see if he is getting briefed.
happening. When those numbers really get announced, you're going to see it's much worse than people think.
Here at the Libertarian Party National Convention, they had one of their, I believe this, one of their presidential nominees said he wants to see Fauci, the heads of Moderna, Pfizer, Biden, and you locked up for what happened during COVID. I don't agree with them, but there is a big sentiment. Elon Musk tweeted, prosecute Fauci. Fauci lied to Congress about the gain-of-function research that was going on, and now we have testimony.
Well, I'm the one that stopped the funding, and this was funding from before me. I'm the one that stopped the funding. Fauci wasn't a big player in my administration like he was after I left. I mean, Biden made him the king of everything. And if you take a look at that, Fauci was not the big player with me that he was. And in fact, I did things that he didn't want to do. He wanted to keep it open to China. I said, you got to close it to China because it was all coming out of China. It was coming out of Wuhan, which I said right at the beginning. But the other thing is, and what people don't realize, I believe in federalism. I gave the power to governors. Some governors did a great job. In all cases, they were Republicans.
That is true. I don't like him trying to downplay. Fauci was the face, even when Trump was there. It was either him or Deborah Birx. Later came Rochelle Walensky. I think she got more shine under Biden, but he's downplaying Fauci. He jumped in on Tim on the question. Tim wasn't done with the question. Very good question by Tim. You see, Trump jumped in on the question to control it because he didn't know where it was going to go. That's a smart play by a politician. Savvy. That's the old guy in the gym at the Y doing the post-up, shimmy shake, Elijah dream that the young kids don't know about.
And some, like in South Carolina, Henry McMaster, kept everything open. Others didn't. The Democrats did a bad job, very bad job. But basically, I gave that power over the states. I gave it to the governor. I gave it back to the states.
Well, you didn't give anybody anything, bro. It's already built in, but I appreciate you.
And I think it's something which, when people realize that, it's something that they respect.
Will there be accountability for the lying to Congress when you get to appoint your new AG, deputy AG?
Yeah, and we'll take a look at statute of limitations because, you know, the statute of limitations are quite long, and we're going to be looking at that very seriously, yeah.
I got one big question for you. So
interesting. So he's kind of backtracking on well, I guess he probably wouldn't call that revenge or retribution, but I don't believe him though. Visit the member section on YouTube and you'll find the full uninterrupted reaction. Appreciate you. Peace.
Middle MAGA.